There is a difference between comparison and inspiration. And I think far too often we confuse those two things. A lot of times we talk about don't compare yourself to people, don't compare yourself to other people, which is true. Like, yo, I'm comparing myself to other people. I'm watching what he's doing, what she's doing, what they're achieving, and I want that. Why can't I have it? There is a difference between comparison and inspiration. And I think far too often we confuse those two things. A lot of times we talk about don't compare yourself to people, don't compare yourself to other people, which is true, but doesn't also mean you shouldn't look at what other people are doing and be inspired. I remember years ago when I was just starting out before I started my company and I was in corporate. And I was in a group chat with a group of my friends that we go away with. And I asked the question, because I'm always asking questions, like, how much is everyone earning? And at that point in time, when everyone came back with their numbers, I was earning the lowest. And I also had the most responsibilities because I was married and I had 2 kids by then and everything else. And rather than starting to compare myself to my boys, I told them like, "Rah, this is what I'm on. If this is what you minds are doing, I need to get my money up." And I was inspired. And so many times throughout my career, throughout my life, I'm always in situations where I'm around other people who are doing so much more better than me. But I never look at them like, oh my gosh, I'm start hating on them. I talk to them about it and I talk about how actually seeing them level up and seeing them do and achieve amazing things inspires me to want to do exactly the same and more in my own way, in my own speed. Now, I'm not gonna lie, on that journey of doing that, that doesn't mean it's not annoying, it's not frustrating, it doesn't mean that the delays aren't painful, but there's a difference between being inspired by someone that forces you to do something about your situation or that opens your eyes even more to what is possible as opposed to compare yourself to other people and you start to make excuses. When you compare yourself to other people, you start to say, oh, they've got this advantage, which they might do. Oh, they've got that person open up doors or opportunities for them. Or they've got this money and so much more. And you move the action from you and what you can do to someone else. And that's where that hate, that envy, that jealousy starts to manifest in your life. And therefore, you don't do anything because nothing good can grow from hate and jealousy and envy. All that does is keeps you stuck, keeps your mindset and your mentality stuck. So learning to be able to not compare yourself to other people, but be inspired by other people is such a crucial distinction that you need to learn how to make. If you're going to live in abundance, or have an abundant life, have an abundant mentality, an abundant mindset, so that's the key, that's the distinction. And this morning I was just sat here thinking, walking in New York, it just literally came to mind. I thought I'd just record this quite quickly. Because it's so easy to compare our lives. And one thing I want to add to this as well is, now I'd be lying if I said I have never compared myself to other people. I have. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've never compared myself to other people and thought, why not me? Why is that person not invite me to X? Why am I not speaking on that stage? Why haven't I got that? I have 100% done that and I own it. And after me going through my pity party for myself and I felt convicted by God saying that you need to stop doing that, I have learned over the years to get out of that routine, to get out of that rhythm, to even recognize any time that spirit of comparison starts to sip in, I step away from that space and I go and be with myself and I spend some time praying, thinking, searching, asking for God for forgiveness, but fixing myself. It can happen so easily when you're on social media. You see so many different things that can make you get into comparison mode. Learning to be like, no, that's not healthy for me right now. No, that's not helping me right now. Let me step back. Rather than feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding, which is what we tend to do. That's our human nature. When something is not good for us, something is making us feel bad about the ways that we are living and our lives, rather than stepping away from it, we still keep on feeding that badness. It doesn't make any sense, but it's an addiction that we have. Part of that is neuroscience, part of that's personality traits, but fundamentally speaking, you can change. You can stop. You can step away. You can check yourself. One great tool to be able to have in your arsenal to be able to do this really well is to also have people around you that you can go to. Like, yo, I'm comparing myself to other people. I'm watching what he's doing, what she's doing, what they're achieving, and I want that. Why can't I have it? What is wrong with me? What's going on with me? I keep on comparing myself to these people. I shouldn't do it. Can you help me stop? Can you help me fix up my mindset mentality? Having those people around you where you can have those real talk conversations with, man, that is life changing. That is life affirming. It's such an important thing to do. So I ask you, you compare yourself to the people, or are you being inspired by the people? If you compare yourself to the people, what are you going to do? What are you going to get in place to stop doing that? And what are you going to actually do intentionally to get your ass moving, to do something about your circumstances, your situation, and start to make a change and make a difference? If you're being inspired by the people, well done, keep it up. Because as you are being inspired by other people are being inspired by you, whether you know it or not.